Sir, your daughter just collapsed. The venue manager's voice barely registered. I was already moving. Emily wasn't on the floor. She was standing, rigid, clutching her bouquet like it was a lifeline. Her eyes met mine, wide, glassy, and terrified. Her eyes weren't on the flowers, weren't on the guests. They were fixed on him. "She needs you to read this," someone whispered. I didn't wait. She pressed something into my hand, a folded deposit slip. Bank logo at the top. Numbers handwritten, one line circled so hard the paper nearly tore. $412,000. Underneath, 4 words in Emily's handwriting. "He thinks it's yours." The officiant cleared his throat. "Shall we, pause for a moment?" Jason laughed, sharp and forced. "She's nervous. You know how it is." I didn't flinch. My pulse hammered in my ears. That number wasn't mine. It was hers, and only 3 people knew it existed. Emily grabbed my sleeve, fingers ice cold. "Dad, he went through my laptop last night, said he was just getting coffee, left this behind on the counter." Jason leaned in, voice low. "That's not what happened." "Then explain it," I said. Right then, in front of 180 guests, a photographer frozen on the shutter, and my daughter bracing herself like she expected a punch, Jason's smile faltered. "Mark," he said, "careful now. We should talk privately." I looked down at the slip again. Timing was everything. 3 weeks earlier, Jason had asked me over dinner, casually, if I ever needed help managing large sums if something unexpected happened. I'd laughed. I wasn't laughing now. A flash of guilt hit me. I hadn't asked Emily if she was okay, and that scared me. I realized I'd trusted the wrong man, maybe almost let her down. I folded the slip and handed it back. Then I turned to the officiant. "Stop the ceremony." The room erupted. Jason grabbed my arm. "Mark, you have no idea what you're about to do." I leaned close enough for only him to hear. "Oh," I said, "I'm starting to." And that's when Emily whispered the part she hadn't written down. "Dad, there's more." I didn't move. Emily's fingers clutched my sleeve. "Dad, he saw the account," she whispered. "He knows it's under my name, and he thinks it belongs to you." My stomach twisted. $412,000. Her tuition fund, her emergency fund, her security. And Jason thought he could just take it or manipulate it. I turned to him. "Explain, Jason, now." He leaned back, calm facade in place. "Mark, let's not make a scene. We'll sort this quietly." "Quietly?" I echoed. "You rifled through her laptop. You accessed her accounts. That's quiet?" Emily's jaw trembled. "I woke up. He was on my computer. Said he was checking, I don't know, financial security?" Jason's eyes narrowed. "That's not what I said. You're overreacting." "Am I?" I snapped. 3 weeks ago, I paused. Emily jumped in. "He asked about large sums, trusts, contingencies," she said, voice cracking. "That wasn't curiosity. That was planning." Jason chuckled, too confident, too arrogant. The kind of laugh you hear just before someone blows their cover. "Mark, you're imagining things," he said. Emily's hand tightened on mine. "He's not. Emails, conversations, people I don't even know. He's trying to control my money before we're married." I froze. People? She told me about emails, phone calls, conversations with people I'd never met. He'd been digging everywhere she wasn't looking. I forced my voice steady. "You need to tell me exactly what you want, Jason. The truth." He smirked. "I want what any future husband wants. Security, stability, for both of us." Emily gasped, nearly falling against me. Liar, she hissed. Jason flinched for a split second. That small reaction told me he wasn't as calm as he wanted everyone to think. I pulled out my phone, quick, silent. I texted Veronica, the private investigator I'd hired after a gut feeling. She'd been digging for weeks, but she only hit the jackpot an hour ago. Emergency, wedding venue, immediate, bring the file. Jason's smirk returned, smug. What are you doing? I answered calmly. I'm protecting my daughter. From you. The music stopped. Guests whispered. Emily's face was pale but resolute. She knew we had to act now or it was over. Jason stepped closer. Mark, if you make a scene here, you'll regret it. I let him think he was in control. Let him believe he could intimidate me in front of everyone. By the time Veronica stepped through the side door, a thick manila folder in hand, cameras rolling, I was already 2 moves ahead. Jason's eyes widened. Too late. I held my breath, watching Jason circle like a predator sizing up his prey. Emily's hand stayed in mine, cold and tight. Dad, he's about to lie again, she whispered. I didn't flinch. Then we stop him, now. Veronica appeared at my side, the folder heavy in her hand. She didn't speak, just slid it toward me. I opened it. Inside wasn't just a transfer. It was a massacre. Jason's smile faltered. What's that? I leaned close, letting the silence stretch. That's the end of your career, Jason. He laughed, but it was brittle, forced. You can't prove anything. It's just paperwork. I held up the tablet Veronica handed me. The screen was bright enough for the front row to see. It's not paperwork, I said, my voice projecting to the back of the hall. It's a wire transfer authorization, time-stamped 3 a.m. I turned the screen to him. Amount? $412,000. Destination? The Venetian Casino Debt Collection Agency. The crowd gasped, a collective, sharp intake of breath. Jason's face went gray. Emily stepped forward. Her voice cut through the tension like a knife. You weren't investing it. You were paying off a debt. Jason's eyes flicked to her, then back to me. His posture stiffened. I saw it, the crack in the mask, the panic. Emily, he started, the calm facade slipping into desperation. I can explain. It was a bridge loan. I was going to put it back. Put it back? I asked, voice low and dangerous. You don't put back money you lost at a blackjack table. The guests started whispering, a low roar of judgment. Jason's hands twitched. He looked cornered, dangerous. Suddenly, he lunged toward Emily, reaching for her arm. Emily, listen to me. I stepped forward, clamping my hand firmly on his wrist. Not another move. His smirk broke completely. He tried to yank his arm back, but I held fast. You let go of me, he hissed. Watch me, I said. For the first time, he hesitated, really hesitated. Veronica snapped her phone up, cameras rolling. Every move Jason made, the lunging, the aggression, captured in 4K. The music stopped completely. All eyes were on us. The perfect groom was gone. Now he was just a desperate man caught in a lie. Emily squeezed my other hand. She wasn't shaking anymore. She was angry. And that was the moment I knew. The victim was gone. The survivor had arrived. And as the crowd stared, I realized this was only the beginning of what he would try next. Jason froze. The evidence was out. The crowd knew. For a second, I thought he would crumble. But Jason was a narcissist, and narcissists don't crumble. They attack. He straightened his jacket, smoothed his tie, fingers twitching, jaw clenched. Sweat rolled down his temple. He looked at the crowd, then at Emily, a twisted smile forming. "You're pathetic," he said. But he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to her. "You're going to let your daddy fight your battles?" Jason sneered, voice carrying to the back row. "Tell them the truth, Emily. Tell them you knew about the debt. Tell them you begged me to fix it." The crowd murmured, confusion rippling through the room. It was a lie. A bold, disgusting lie designed to plant doubt. Emily froze, mouth opened, no sound. Gaslighting in front of 200 people. "She offered me the money," Jason barked, stepping toward the guests. "And now you're crying wolf because Daddy found out?" I stepped forward, fists clenched, but Veronica held me back. "Wait," she whispered. "Watch her." I looked at Emily. She wasn't crying. She wasn't shaking. She walked past me, past Veronica, straight to Jason. He stopped, smirk frozen. He thought he'd won. Slap. The sound cracked through the silent church like a gunshot. Jason's head snapped to the side. Smirk gone. "I didn't know about your debt," Emily said, voice shaking with rage, not fear. "And I didn't know about the woman you've been texting since April." Jason froze. He hadn't realized Veronica's file went back that far. "Yeah," Emily said, holding up the tablet Veronica had given her. "The PI found her too, Jason, and she talks a lot." The crowd's whispers turned to shouts. Every face against him, every camera capturing his fall. Jason's eyes darted to the side exit near the choir stand. He didn't say another word. He bolted. "He's running!" someone shouted. I didn't chase him. I didn't move. Jason shoved past a confused bridesmaid, slammed into the double doors, and threw them open. But he didn't make it outside. 2 uniformed officers blocked the sunlight, standing tall. "Going somewhere, Mr. Hutchinson?" the sheriff asked. Jason skidded to a halt. He looked back at us, trapped between the law and the family he tried to rob. For the first time, Jason realized he wasn't the smartest person in the room. But I knew this wasn't over yet. Jason's boots echoed on the marble floor as the officers cuffed him. He tried to speak, tried to explain, tried to charm. Every word fell flat. The cameras captured every twitch, every desperate glance, every lie dying on his lips. Emily stayed at my side, hand still in mine. Her back was straight, shoulders squared. She wasn't the frightened girl from earlier. She was a survivor. I caught her eye. No tears, just fire. The sheriff leaned close to Jason. "Mr. Hutchinson, you're being charged with conspiracy, fraud, and attempted financial exploitation. Anything you say can and will be used against you." Jason's face drained of color. He opened his mouth, closed it again, stammered. No escape, no gaslighting, no charm. Only silence. I felt a weight lift from my chest. Months of fear, sleepless nights, gut-wrenching doubt. It all melted away. I'd protected her, but she had protected herself too. Veronica slipped the tablet back into my hand. Time-stamped transfers, screenshots, emails, all ready for the DA, clean, airtight. I nodded. "Thank you. You did more than I could have hoped." Emily exhaled, slowly. "Dad, thank you for trusting me to do this, for letting me act." I hugged her tight, feeling the tremor in her body settle into calm. "You acted perfectly. I just made sure you weren't alone." The murmurs of the crowd shifted from gossip to shock. Phones lifted, flashes popping, every moment captured, the truth visible to all. A few people approached us, family, friends, aunts, uncles. They hugged Emily, whispered encouragement, but I stayed back, letting her shine. This wasn't about me, it was about her. Finally, Emily looked around, taking in the crowd. She smiled, proud, fierce. This day, it's not about him. It's about freedom, about starting over, safely. I squeezed her hand. And you did it. You were brave. You were smart. You were... you. Emily turned to me, voice soft but curious. Dad, how did you know to investigate him months ago? Before the bank transfers? Before everything? I looked at her, then back at the empty door where Jason had been dragged out. Because, I said quietly, he made a mistake last Christmas. A small one, but it told me everything I needed to know. I remember that Christmas like it was yesterday. Emily was downstairs, wrapping gifts and humming along to the carols. The house smelled of pine and cinnamon, and I thought I had a quiet moment with Jason by the fireplace. On the surface, everything seemed normal. He laughed, that charming, practiced laugh, as he accepted a glass of eggnog I'd poured. Polite, warm, predictable. Then I saw the delivery kid, just a teenager, drop the pizza boxes he'd brought for the party. One slipped, barely grazing the carpet. Jason's face darkened. He didn't sigh or frown, he sneered. Do you know how much this rug costs? He snapped, not even looking at the mess. The lights on the tree reflected off the ornaments, flickering over Jason's cold eyes as he spoke. The boy froze. Everyone else didn't notice. Emily wasn't watching, just me. Then came the real red flag. Jason pulled out his phone, pressing it to his ear. He whispered so low that any casual listener would hear nothing, but I caught every word. Yeah, $4,000 by next week. Don't ask questions, and make sure she doesn't find out. His voice dropped into something urgent, not angry, not drunk, but afraid. That one subtle shift told me everything. The holiday cheer, the eggnog, the fake smile, it was all a mask. He wasn't charming. He was planning, calculating, dangerous. I didn't confront him then. I had no proof, just a gut that screamed warning. But that single slip told me exactly who he was. Months later, when the deposit slip appeared, the wire transfer surfaced, and the laptop emails were uncovered, I traced it all back to that night. Every pattern, every lie, every manipulation led straight to that moment. I turned to Emily now, safe and strong beside me. That night, I said, my voice low but steady, he revealed who he really was. Everyone else saw a polite fiancé. I saw a predator. Emily's eyes widened. And that's why you investigated him? I nodded. Every conversation, every move, every accident he planned. I traced it all back to that night. That one slip told me he couldn't hide forever. Her hand found mine. She squeezed it, eyes sharp. Then we'll always be ready. I smiled, though the memory still made my stomach twist. I didn't save you. You saved yourself by trusting me enough to show me the truth. And I added, quietly, almost to myself, because predators don't stop hunting. They just wait for someone new to trust them. 3 months had passed since the wedding debacle. I hadn't thought about Jason much until today. The courtroom smelled faintly of polished wood and tension. Wood paneling reflected the harsh fluorescent lights. Murmurs rippled through the benches. Cameras clicked, recording every reaction. Emily sat beside me, calm but alert. Her hand found mine, and I gave a subtle squeeze. We were ready. Jason swaggered in, tie straight, hair perfect, smirk in place, as if none of it had happened. He didn't see me watching, didn't notice Emily's eyes, sharp and steady, or that the perfect groom act had completely unraveled. Jason's lawyer had withdrawn at the last minute. He'd insisted on representing himself. Typical narcissist logic. The judge entered, gavel down. Silence fell like a heavy curtain. Jason tried to speak first. "Your Honor, I maintain my innocence. This is a misunderstanding." Emily squeezed my hand, and I caught her slight nod. That one motion said everything. He had no chance. The prosecutor stood, precise and unflinching. "Your Honor, the evidence is clear. Unauthorized access to accounts, financial manipulation, and attempts to conceal transfers. The victim's private investigator, Veronica, has testified and provided documentation. Emails, screenshots, timestamps, and recordings. Each confirms the defendant's actions." Jason's smugness faltered. One bead of sweat rolled down his temple. He tried to interject. "Objection! This is circumstantial." The judge raised a hand. "Mr. Hutchinson, the evidence is direct and undeniable. Attempts to manipulate the court will not succeed." Jason's eyes flicked to Emily's hand on mine, that small motion betraying his fear. I leaned closer, whispering, "This is it. This is the moment." Emily nodded, steady. "It is," she whispered back. The verdict came swiftly. Guilty on all counts: fraud, theft, and attempted financial coercion. The judge didn't just sentence him, he made an example. "Mr. Hutchinson," the judge said, voice cold and deliberate, "you are sentenced to 5 years in state prison, restitution to the victim, and a permanent injunction against contacting her." Jason's face turned white. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. Murmurs rippled through the courtroom. Phones recorded every reaction. Cameras captured his defeated slump. Emily exhaled, slowly, relief washing over her. Not fear, not uncertainty, victory. I let my hand fall on hers. "It's over," I whispered. She smiled, a genuine, unshakable smile. "It is," she said. For the first time in months, we felt it. The predator was behind bars. Justice was served. And we, father and daughter, had survived it together. For the first time, we exhaled. But I knew predators never truly disappear. We'd just be ready if they returned. The sun spilled across the small cafe patio. 1 year had passed since the arrest. No tension, just Emily, calm, determined, alive. She paused typing and looked at me. That steady smile was back. "You know," she said, "I never thought I'd feel this free. Last year feels like a different life." "It was," I said. "But you didn't just survive it. You grew." She leaned forward, her voice soft. "Dad, I have to ask. That small mistake Jason made at Christmas, that was really enough for you?" I smiled. He treated that delivery kid like dirt. Small actions tell you everything about a man's character. She squeezed my hand. I guess I finally learned to trust my gut, too. I looked at her. The girl who had faced a con artist was gone. The woman sitting across from me was unstoppable. I squeezed her hand back. "Life will always throw predators," I said, "but trust your instincts, And you don't just survive, you thrive." She smiled. "Then we'll always be ready." And for the first time in a long time, I exhaled fully. Because this was the life we had fought for. If you've ever ignored a red flag, don't make that mistake again. Subscribe for more stories of justice, and tell me in the comments, what was the biggest red flag you ever missed?